Well, part two of putting together the ShelterLogic Greenhouse is going to be a little more difficult than part one was. We got snow the night that I put this up, the frame as it is now. That night we got snow. It wasn't in the forecast, but we got it anyways. We got a full inch, but it's melting away. That was 2 days ago, and it was pretty sunny yesterday. I did that greenhouse cleaning yesterday and let this melt down a bit. So what I got to do, I need large spikes for these feet. What I do is just line up the legs as good as I can, and then spike them in place, and then square the other side and spike that into place. Then I can put then I have to pound in the anchors, the ground anchors, then I can skin it. And I'm looking at a different way to do the ground anchors. I'm thinking of using gripples on this. I use them in the vineyard, and they work really nice, and it'd be a lot less work than using turnbuckles and wire clamps and stuff. So what I need to do today is get the cross members on to hold the legs in the position they need to be, and then I have to run to town and get the spikes for it. I just want to get them cross members in today, and then I'll spike it, square it, and try to finish it up on a nicer day. Right now, I believe it was 17 degrees overnight, and I don't know, it's in the low 20s right now. But today is the least wind in the 10-day forecast. Got 5 mile an hour winds today. And even at 5 miles an hour, that it's just really cold. So hopefully I can get all these longitudinal lower members on today, and then I think Wednesday or possibly Thursday, there's another nice day, but I think I'll do just a little bit every day at the warmest part of the day, and then whenever I have a window where it's going to be less windy, I'll get the cover on then. The biggest thing now is getting the anchors into the ground before the ground freezes up. And I should be able to do that. If I get the cross members in today and get the spikes in tomorrow or the day after, I should be just fine. So let's get at it. This is how these clamshell, I don't know what the hell they're really called, but that's how they attach. There's nothing through the pole. They're adjustable. And then a carriage bolt goes through this, through the pipe, and out the other side. So a pipe goes into this like that. That is the end version, and on the middle ones, it just has a two-sided one, like that. So a lot of handling of ice cold stuff, and it's really fumbly because you have so many parts to put together. It's really hard to do this stuff with gloves on, but hopefully I can use gloves as much as possible, because otherwise I got to keep running into the house and warming up. I don't want to get frostbite. It's pretty damn cold out here. So here we go. So that's one side. My hands are just freezing. You could see how looks like everything lines up except for that one hoop. So when I get the spikes, I'll spike down this one and that one pretty good, and then possibly the one after it, and then yank that one out. If you don't have them spiked down, you really can't do that. So I'll probably set up a string. It all depends on the weather. It's not too bad right now. It's pretty damn cold, but add a little bit of wind to the mix and it'll be downright nasty. So, and we have wind in the forecast pretty much every day. Today is the least amount of wind. So I want to get as much done as possible. So I'm going to go warm my hands up a little bit and then come back and do this. Okay, now for the other side. In the end, these go about 8 inches off the ground, but once everything is straight and square and everything, when you put the cover on, you have to remove these one at a time, slide the bar through a pocket on the cover, and then put the bar back in and bolt it again. So it's got like hoops, or not hoops, it's just a pocket in the sidebar, and they want it about 8 inches off the ground. I'm not sure how the vents work on this with that pocket, but we'll see. The other shelters don't have vents, so that'll be new, but this is pretty much the same as the other one that I have. So I'll show you how these end ones are the hardest to do, because you got to balance 3 things. It'd be easier with a helper, but it's not too bad. So once you get the end one in, that holds the next one. So it's not that hard. It's really hard in this weather though. Really cold out. So let's get at it. Unfortunately, this greenhouse was 5 days late. I had the perfect day to put it up, and I ordered it in plenty of time, but Home Depot, this is the second time they've done this, they failed to notify me that it was there, and I should have just kept on their butts and kept calling them. But they're supposed to send an email notice. They sent a notice that said it was in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, which is way north of here. Well, that went on pretty easy. Eau Claire is way north of here, so I'm like, well, how about letting me know when it gets here so I can pick it up? But it was not in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. It was already here. And we had a beautiful day to put it up. But that passed because of the dumbasses at Home Depot. So now I'm out in the cold doing this. Frozen to the ground a little bit. Yeah, I really need to get this, get these ground anchors in before the ground freezes. That would be fairly tragic. Once the ground anchors are in, everything is fine. I mean, we could have 60-degree days again for a little while. kind of doubt it, but it is still spring. Or spring, it's still fall. Okay, I have to go get another pole. I don't have them here because I don't want them getting all full of snow and getting all slippery and stuff, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna go get a pole. It's actually supposed to get, I think it's supposed to get right around 30 today, so, which is quite a bit warmer than it is right now. But that's the problem. If I waited for that, a little bit warmer weather, the wind picks up as the day goes on, and even though it's warmer, it's colder. So, gotta get her done right now. Oh, this is so cold. Okay, get my gloves on. So I want to get these right about 8 inches off the ground. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I want it close. If they're all at the same height above the ground, then it'll be a lot easier to get things square. Yeah, that's good enough. And slide on down to the next. Frozen to the ground. difficult. Okay, last one. Yeah, my hands don't feel very cold anymore, but that's not a good sign. That's how you feel when you're getting frostbite. All of a sudden it doesn't feel cold anymore. And if you know better, if you know it is cold, you know you gotta get the hell out of the cold. I'm not gonna get frostbite, but feeling warm when it's really cold out is not a good sign. Okay, one more. That's another thing about working in the cold. Your dexterity suffers. Come on, just go together real quick. There you go. Okay, that about does it. Now I can jog this thing around and get it straight and square, and then get it all fastened to the ground and get her skinned. I was looking at the anchors, and the cable on this is 3/16, and the gripples that I have, this is a Gripple Plus, which I don't know if that just means it's the biggest. It's a large. This goes to 7.5 to 10 gauge, and I believe 3/16. That's right around 5 gauge. So this won't work. So I'm gonna see if they make a larger Gripple, but I don't believe they do. So I will still have to go with I'll have to put a thimble on this and do some other stuff. So I'll have to run to town and get some anchor items, get the eye bolts. What I'm going to do, I put an eye bolt right through here and anchor it right there. I can't do it at the end because the hardware will tear the fabric. It has to be sideways all the way through. So I need 4 sets of hardware for this. I might try to get the anchors that come with it in as well, but I don't really think it's going to need it. I had the old one in with 4, I think they only came with 4 anchors back then. We put 2 of them in concrete, one in this corner and one in that corner, and that's all that was on it for 5 years, 6 years maybe. Oh yeah, it was at least 6 years. So, and that was mounted to the ends here, so it would lift up if there was a really high wind. But this is a fairly sheltered area. We got this hill here, and the north winds are blocked by the house, so should be all right. So the next episode of this will be the squaring it up and hopefully getting the skin on in the same day. Once the skin's on, this will collect some solar heat, and if the snow isn't already gone, it'll be gone pretty quick. I might put I have some extra 55-gallon drums. I might put a few drums of water in here to act as a thermal mass. We'll see. That'll hold heat, collect heat during the day, and slowly give it off at night. I know I want to do that when it's time to start growing, so I might as well put them in here for the rest of the winter as well. It'll keep the ground thawed out. Okay, that'll do it. If you want to be notified when we post the new videos, subscribe to our channel and then click on the update icon. And giving us a thumbs up would help as well. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a great day.